right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Navtej Sabhi to our podcast. Welcome, Navtej.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. And this is the first time I'm ever doing this. I don't even know whom I need to, what I need to say or what I need to do. Hey, everyone who's watching, yeah, it's Navtej Sabhi.
Awesome. But you go by Nav, right?
Yeah, I go by now.
Nav. Okay, sounds good. And we met actually when I was filming some content for my TikTok at the Love's truck stop. Just walked up to you and tried to interview you. How was that?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, who's this guy? Because we usually don't see people interviewing on a truck stop. I was like, okay, this is something out of the box. And then yeah, so yeah, I think you came up to me and then you asked me you want to do an interview. I was like, sure, why not? Everyone was in a rush though, but I thought this is something new. Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, that was awesome. And we had a 5-10 minute conversation. And what kind of struck me was you said you were a software engineer and turned trucker and you owned a trucking company, which it seems kind of rare and seems kind of wild. So just kind of take me back. First of all, tell me where you're from and kind of how you got into software engineering and then eventually kind of, your pivot to trucking.
Yeah, I'm basically from India. I have done my graduation, like a bachelor's degree in computers from back home, India. And then I came here to do like a diploma, 2 years diploma in computers, which I did in Toronto. And then I wanted to pursue the same field in computers and everything. But then because of all the, we have to get permanent residence and do a lot of paperwork and other stuff. So I had to pivot to other jobs because all the computer jobs are contract jobs, and in a contract job you can't apply for a permanent resident or any other whatsoever the process we have. So that's why I got into other like warehousing jobs and other jobs. I did all kind of jobs, but then eventually I did it for like 6 7 years. It took me 6 7 years to get my permanent residency here. At that point I didn't know what I want to do. I wasn't in touch with computers as well, so I thought, everyone in my culture or like my back area, everyone is into trucking. So I thought maybe I should give it a try. If I'm not doing anything else, why not make some money? So that's how I got into trucking. But
Gotcha.
yeah, but when I got into trucking, I got to know that it's really a hard job, and then you do make a lot of money, but then your expenses go higher as well, right? So I thought, this is, if I get stuck in just driving truck, it's an endless loop. I won't be able to get out or do anything out of the box. So I thought, why not keep pursuing it, but then make it a sustainable business, and then try something out, like make it as a stepping stone, and then learn some few things in it, and then maybe go from there. So that's why I thought I should get more trucks, and then yeah, go from there.
Gotcha. And you're living in Canada right now, right?
Yeah, I'm living in Canada, in Alberta.
Gotcha. So you're a permanent resident now of Canada?
Yeah, I'm permanent resident of Canada now.
Gotcha. That's wild though, how they make it so difficult to. So was it Canada that made it difficult to get your permanent residency? Because I feel like you'd want, as a country, you'd want a talented software engineer to try to be employed by one of the companies. So I think that's kind of wild that they make it so difficult. I know in the U.S. they make it difficult as well.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, and the other thing is, like, different provinces have their own rules because they need certain individuals in certain jobs only. So they will try to make rules according to that, so that people try to pivot more towards those jobs which they want in their own province. So it depends province to province as well. But overall, it used to be very hard. Now it's really simple. Now they have few other new rules coming out which are more easier, and then you only have to do job for a certain time, like a 6 months or 2 years, doesn't matter what kind of jobs, is a contract or something, and then it's much easier for new guys here.
Gotcha. So kind of take me back to when you were pivoting to trucking. So did you just buy a truck, or did you start working for a company and then you bought a truck after a couple of years, or how did that work?
So first I did a local job for 6 months, got some idea about the trucking. Then I went start doing a long haul, and I did that for a year as well. Then I did like a super weave, which have two trailers. I did that. I just wanted to get an idea of the overall trucking so that I can make best decision. So once I did all those different aspects of driving, then I thought it's my time to get my own truck. So I got in touch with one of my friends who already had a truck, and then I bought a truck, and then I got into trucking. But as soon as I bought my own truck, I got to know it's a different ball game, and I won't survive if I would just be dependent on one truck, cause one truck can, something could happen, anything. Like, I didn't like the unpredictability of that thing. I'm only dependent on one machinery which can go wrong. There's no sustainable money in it as well, so that's why I started looking for ways to get like find ways to how I can open my own company, because I don't want to be dependent on a truck and on just one company. So did some research, and I got to know that yeah, it's feasible to open your own company. And then I start gathering resources according to that, and then yeah, I opened my own company within 6 months of getting my own truck.
Gotcha. So how did you afford your first truck? Did you just save up and pay for it yourself, or did you have to like finance it at all? Just kind of wondering how people can get into this and get the money to afford the initial start.
Yeah, for 6 months. So what I did is I tried to do like work straight 30 days. I did 30 days of work, and then I got to know that I think I need more money. So I tried something different. Like, new guys who have their own truck, they try not to do something out of the line or something which is risky. But I took the other way around. I started doing things which were a little bit risky in this line. I started doing oversized load. In that, you can make more money, but it's really risky because I just got my own truck. I don't even know what are the rules. I didn't have that much experience. So I had to gather a lot of experience. I took a risky move, but it paid off. I made a little more money than other guys in the same area. But eventually I end up saving a little bit of money so that I had I confidence. If I want to do something bold, I could do it. So I just gathered money in 4 months. And then in fifth month, I just told my company that I'm quitting. I'm just opening my own business. Yeah.
Was that kind of scary? Quitting and buying an expensive vehicle, expensive truck,
Yeah,
and
that
jumping
was
in.
really yeah, that was really scary. Cause I just had my own truck. I don't even know what other problems we face in a truck or on the road. And the other thing was I didn't know like how to open a company. I don't know. I just told them I'm quitting, but I didn't know properly like how to open a company, how I'm gonna do it, how much money is needed, and everyone around me told me not to do it. It's too early. You're taking way much riskier chances. But yeah, as I go along the way, it was really, really, really scary. But then, yeah, I was able to figure out my way. There was a funny incident. I booked first load for myself, and I didn't know how to cross a border, like what kind of paperwork I need. With whole confidence, I asked my first broker, "Oh, I'll do it, and this time, no worries, I'll pick it up today, drop it off in 3 days." And I had no idea how to cross a border, like in your own company. So I booked the load. After that, I had to figure out how I'm gonna cross the border. I made a couple of calls to different guys who provide such kind of service, and then I was able to set up the accounts, and then I was able to do it. But yeah, it was really risky.
Yeah, for sure. So now, how many trucks do you have?
Right now, I have like eight on my own trucks, and then I have 5 to 6 of the like owner operators who run under my company.
Gotcha. So, how many employees do you have under you? You have other truck drivers that you employ?
Yeah, I have few truck drivers. I have 6 truck drivers running my units, and then I have like two guys in the dispatch to help us out.
Gotcha. Was it easy or difficult trying to, get new drivers and hiring people? Like, what was that process like?
It's a little difficult. It's a trial and error. You have to hire certain people, and then they work for like 50 to 60 days, and then you get a glimpse of it. Sometimes some drivers are good in some stuff, sometimes they are not good in other stuff. So sometimes you have to adjust the driver according to what kind of hauling you need, but sometimes you have to modify your work according to the driver as well if the driver is really good in certain aspects. So yeah, it's a trial and error.
Gotcha. And I mean, I'm noticing how the trucking industry is kind of, I guess nearing a recession. Maybe things are tough. Fuel costs are going up. The rates that you're getting to do transfer loads is going down. Are you kind of experiencing that right now? Like, how are you trying to plan and get through this?
Yeah, right now it's really bad. Everyone I talk to, and I have experienced myself as well, this is the worst recession, or you can say fluctuation ever. It wasn't used to be as bad. Those rates are not even, it's not even matching the fuel expense right now. And then I have to pay drivers out of my pocket. And since I'm a new business, it's hard to do that. And I have seen other companies, they are just parking their trucks for next 4 to 5 months. It's really really that bad. It never used. I have not like I've been in this business for 4 years, driving truck and all that. I have never seen market going this bad. It's really bad. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but hopefully we get back soon. Cause yeah, this is not going the way it should be.
Yeah, because I mean, people are still buying things. We need goods to be transported, from place to place. So we need truck drivers. So things are going to have to change. Rates are going to have to go up. Otherwise, this whole supply chain is going to just crash. So hopefully things turn around. In the spring, at least. In the summer. So I mean, I'm hoping that things turn around. What are some crazy things that you normally have to deal with? I guess with sometimes 10, 15 trucks on the road that you're kind of having to oversee. Is something constantly happening? You constantly getting calls from your drivers, needing stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of too much multitasking. Yeah, I get a lot of different calls in a day. Sometimes a driver is not reaching on time, or sometimes it's too much snow, so I have to reroute him. I have to send it to some other border so that it's more safer. Sometimes on the weekends, customs doesn't get cleared, so like driver has to stay at the border, and then I have to pay him out of my pocket. These are like regular things which happens on a regular basis. There's few things which happens like crazy things are just recently, just yesterday I talked to one of my friends. He's also like a trucking company owner. He told me that he got a call day before yesterday from his driver. He was carrying an oversized load, and I think he touched the bridge.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
so what is he doing now? Like, is he
So
just
that
got?
was that must have been a crazy call. Because then now he has to talk to the broker, he has to talk to his insurance guy, he has to talk a lot. So I think that's the most crazy thing.
Yeah,
Which
you don't want that to happen.
yeah, you don't want that to happen. Yeah, it's
So
it's it's less crazy if your truck gets into an incident, right? Then you can just go to insurance and tell them, hey, this has happened, and then you pay the deductible, and then you get your money after a few months. But then this kind of stuff is really because now even government might get involved and other stuff as well. And then there are fines and other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So being in Canada, is most of the routes that you take across the border into the US and back? So is that primarily what you're doing, or is it in Canada mainly?
No, in Canada right now, market is not that good. It's It's really, really bad. You are not even covering your fuel expense, barely covering your fuel expense. So what we try to do is we try to go like pick from Canada, but drop it in states. Then at least we get more margin because we are crossing the border, and then we try to pick up from the states and then come to Canada. If we do like in Canada right now market is not that great so that it can support a business. And there might be one more thing your viewers don't know. If you are a Canadian company, you cannot do a load from US to US. That's illegal for a Canadian company.
I didn't know that. Why is
Yeah.
that? That's crazy.
Yeah, cause let's say there are too many Canadians company, and then they start hauling US, you know, US loads. That's what I'm assuming is like why this rule is there. I think if there are too many Canadians company and they started doing US loads, um, they will start fluctuating the market according to their own. You know, I would say whatsoever the fluctuations in the states, like there would be a gap. What I'm trying to say is there would be a gap in demand and supply because all of the Canadians will start doing US loads, and then for the US economy or for the US local drivers, it's going to be hard to cover loads because Canadian companies will try to undercut them because US currency is much more higher. They are already
Mm.
getting more money from Canada, so they will think, oh, we can just do it for this much. Let's say the general market rate is 5,000. Canadians will do it in 4,000, but it's okay for Canadians because they are getting good exchange rate, but then it's not good for the local economy. So I think that's why they have this law.
Gotcha. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So are most of your employees Indian then? I mean, I'm hearing that you're talking in
Yeah,
Punjabi, a different language.
yeah, I was talking in Punjabi. Yeah, all my most of my drivers are Indian. Yeah, yeah. There are a few exceptions here and there, but then most of them are Indians. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a comfort zone. That's why, or maybe like the communication is more easier because what I found out there are so many problems which happens on the road. If there's a communication gap, then you end up losing money because you are not able to communicate him how to handle this or tackle this, and then he might make a big mistake, and then it's all cause of communication. Like I'm more scared on that side. So yeah, maybe I have a new business. Eventually, we will start, exploring more options. But right now, I'm just I'm just trying to minimize the error as much as possible.
Gotcha. And are you kind of being strategic with like where you send your employees? Like different parts of the country, just based on kind of, the rates that you're getting, or
Yeah.
are you trying like is that one way you trying to get through this? Just be really strategic on where you send your trucks.
Yeah, right now, considering the market, you have to think like weeks, 2 weeks ahead, how to schedule it. Because let's say if I send someone to California and California is really dry, I won't get anything back. I'll end up losing money next week. Maybe I'm making good money right now, like sending a guy from here to California. Maybe that's good money, but there's no backhaul, then I'm stuck and I have to pay my driver. So yeah, you have to make plans for at least next 7 to 8 days, and then you have to check the market. And now since it's winter, now you have to check the weather as well. Sometimes we get good loads, but then it's going to a certain area where weather is bad, so you have to check that out as well. Yeah, so many
Gotcha.
so many variables which gets into planning.
I know, no kidding. So where are you getting all your information from? Are you talking to your broker and stuff? Are you checking, going online? Where are you getting this information?
Sometimes you get information like weather information you get online. I have 3 4 apps which we keep on checking, and then I tell my drivers to wherever they are going, keep a check ahead for next 15 days and keep updating me as well. And sometimes I ask around my friends as well. Sometimes through our the brokers who are working with us from quite a while, they also keep us updating. Sometimes there are a few apps as well who gives you about the load idea or load uh, like how many loads are out there or not. But they are like subscription models, so you have to subscribe to them and So it's all different kind of variables. But after going through all those sources as well, it's really hard to guess anything out of, like, you can only guess from, it's like the weather. Lows are like the weather. You can check the past and then you can predict the future. Like, you don't know anything at, you do not know anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing a war room with a bunch map of the Canada and the U.S. with a bunch of dots, you're planning out some sort of war. So I
I
that's
know,
what I
I know,
picture.
I know. It is kind of like that. Even I didn't know what I'm getting into once I got into it. If I would have known I have to do these many things, I would have become a pilot or something else. That's way easier, I guess. All you need to know is, like, just cramp up knowledge for a year and then you are good to go.
But man, I mean, this is the best companies are built during recessions, and I mean, back to look, 2008, Uber, Airbnb, all these big tech companies were built. Same goes to even more blue collar industries like trucking and stuff. The best companies are built during recession. So if you can get through this, you'll hopefully be better for it. And so just I wish you the best on just getting through this. And I mean, and you did mention, you can make a lot of money in trucking, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully it ends up being worth it.
Yeah, yeah. Like, looking at the market 2 years ago, there was so many opportunities, so many loads out there. I used to hear, so okay, this lane is this much, this lane is this much. If we get that market back, man, there's a lot of opportunity and money, for sure in this. But the present situation, I think, is really crammed up. There are not much resources out there, and I also think someone needs a breakthrough. I like all this. Different aspects like brokerage and then companies and then loads and then like the whole linkage from customer to broker to transportation company and then to the main client where it's going. I think they are all working in different sections. We need something to streamline all those things. We are in 2022. I thought it must have always like already happened, but when I got into it, I that's where I think there are a lot of gaps in the whole industry. Some, like, just like Uber or something. I think some company needs to come in and then try to fill in the gaps. They will for sure make a breakthrough and make a lot of money for sure.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
it does seem like that the trucking industry is ready to be disrupted. It's ripe for
yeah,
disruption.
yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
everything was going great before, and that's why no one pointed it out. But when COVID happened, everything was chaos, and then everyone got to know there are so many gaps. Because now even a client wants something, he don't know whom to reach out to. Before, there were so many brokers, so many clients, so many resources, and everything was going great. Like, even a small company like me could easily start making money and then uh, be in a good phase in 2 years. So no one, the a 25-year company or a 2 year company, no one ever pointed this out. But now after COVID, like, a company who is from 25 years, they don't have lows because they have so many trucks. And a new company like me is thinking, what the hell is going on? Why there's no proper communication channel between all these sections? So I think we need a big breakthrough like Uber or something like that.
interesting. Be curious to watch. Next couple of years if something comes out of it. Comes out of this. Uh,
Comes out, yeah.
so you're not looking to buy any new trucks anytime soon, or are you still looking
No,
to grow?
all the financial institutions whom I go to for buy trucks, they're telling me that uh, I'll tell you something interesting. Let's say before I have a truck which is 1.5. It has gone to 2.5 now. So, like, one third, there's inflation of one third, but the uh, loads we do, they have decreased one third. So there's a gap around there. So no financial institution wants to give out truck. They want at least 20 to 30% down payment first, and then interest rates are higher. Before, it used to be like 7, now it's around 12. Sometimes it goes to 20 to like a newbie. That's, I don't know, man. How they gonna survive? Because if you check the math, it doesn't add up. And even if you go for refinancing, they are not refinancing at all, or they will refinance at a 60% value. Let's say if I have a, two, uh, 2 million truck, they will only give me like 120. And then what's gonna happen to that other 80 I have stuck in? So right now, math is not adding up with financial institutions. So this is the worst time to get into buying trucks.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah,
you're already in now, so just I guess hunker down, be smart about it, and you'll be better on the other side.
I know. I know. I'm just in kind of a survival mode now. I'll just have to survive this phase, and then just come up with new ideas. And then whenever this this phase gets over, I have to start implementing new ideas. Or maybe if we get some kind of opportunity or new idea, maybe this is the time to implement it. Yeah, I'm just looking for new ideas to implement.
Well, it'll be exciting to watch. Especially Nav, just fascinating stuff. Software engineer turned owner of a trucking company, and I can definitely see some innovation happening your way. So it'll be awesome and to follow along on your journey. Um, you know, I just want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to me, and this was awesome. I appreciate it.
No, thanks for inviting me to your podcast. This is the first experience of me to any podcast, though. Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. I'm looking forward to come up to your podcast more.
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to clip it up a little bit, put it on TikTok, and put it on YouTube, and we'll be in touch.
For sure. Yeah, we'll be in touch. It was a
All right.
nice session, though.
Thanks.